Coming up, we will be announcing the winner of this week's Double Trouble. Don't forget that will be happening at 1:30 today. But before that, I will be interviewing the lovely Graciano Major. He's in studio with us right now. That will be happening right after MK, Jonas Blue and Becky Hill. This is Back and Forth. I've got a very special guest in studio today. How are you, darling?
Hello, darling. Thank you for having me.
You're very, very welcome, Graciano Major.
Thank you. Pronouncing it out right.
I was very confused. I was chatting to Graciano over email, and I had to ask him to send me a video of how to pronounce his name because I was afraid I'd get it wrong while I was forward telling you.
Most people do. They call me Cristiano or Cristiano. I'm like, I just tell people call me Gracie. Gracie. That's shortcut. That's perfect.
It's kind of like nearly saying thank you. Grazie.
Yes, that's it.
So Graciano, let's just get straight into it. You've got a deadly tune called 4 a.m.
Appreciate it.
We'll get into that in a second because I want to first play it here on Pulse for all of our lovely audience members. But I want to know how you got into music to begin with.
So anyway, long story short, I've been through music all my life. My music, I have a musician family. So my mother was a gospel singer. My dad not really into the music scene stuff, kind of like that. But anyway, so I grew up around music all my life, and it was just a matter of time before I picked it up and just making my own. So the first thing I ever heard in my life was Tupac and B.I.G. when I was 13 years old.
So you were raised on hip hop.
So I was a hip hop head from a young age.
Yeah.
And time passes by. 16, 17, I literally feel like I want to actually do a little bit of rapping myself. So I started rapping, left it after a year. Then my dad introduced me to Craig David.
And that is exactly who you reminded me of when I was listening to the track. And I'm a mad Craig David fan. I don't think so
you're bad as I am. But yeah, so my dad doesn't listen, as I said, doesn't listen to hip hop music or anything like that. I don't know how he got Craig David Byrne to do it, the album. He bought 3 CDs. That's how much he loved him. And basically, he gave me one of the CDs, and that was the first time I ever heard R&B music. So I kind of like really got inspired by Craig David, and I feel, and so many people actually, what you just said there, so many people actually say I have resemblance by Craig David's voice in my tone, the way I sing and stuff like that. So I really take that as a compliment and privilege into it, that way. So I can tell Craig David actually has a big influence on my music, but not to a T that I literally copying him, but I literally making my own twist, if you
found your own style.
Yes, I did, of course. So I love R&B music. That's where my genre is and my heart is.
Yeah, and that comes with hard work as well, and actually trying to trial and error and see what works for you.
Of course. I've been through the whole being in a band, a boy band, in the groups, broken promises, as they say, and stuff like this.
I can imagine you in a boy band now, so I can. You're sitting on that stool and standing up and down for all your harmonies. Dressed up in double denim.
I've been through that. I've been through it. So long story short, I am R&B singer-songwriter from Dublin, of course. The first time I launched myself properly in 2013 with Ryan O'Shaughnessy called You and Me. I had a single out. Then I started supporting X Factor people, getting out there, taking stages, doing this, all that bits and bobs. And from there I got signed to a management company for 4 years. Read your contracts, people, musician fellows, please read your contracts. So I feel like it was my fault because I haven't read into the contract properly and stuff. Like I really thought like this is the next level for me. Like I was young and stupid, let's say. And basically I signed with them guys, and after the gigging and stuff starting to slow down and stuff like this, and broken promises, as I said, and I couldn't release music for 4 years. So my contract only finished on the 1st of January of 2018.
So you're only free now.
Yes. So So I've been through such a mad stage in my life with music that I wanted to release stuff and I couldn't release because of the conditions that we had with the management company. I don't want to get specifically into the details with it because I don't want to overshadow or talk bad on the name or anything like that. I'm not that type of person, but it is what it is. I'm finally free. And as Adam, as I see now, he's finally free, you're back in business.
But the only thing about it is, and you have to look at it this way, is that gave you time to properly mold and get your voice, where you wanted it. And I know you were frustrated and you were kind of thinking, okay, I need to get myself out there now. But instead, you had the time to actually perfect your music and make sure that it was good and ready to go. And as they say, what's for you won't pass you. So this is obviously your time to shine.
Of course, and I like to think so. So time forward past that, I released independently my first let's say a comeback song. I would like to call it my comeback song, featuring another amazing hip hop lyricist artist called Hoover. And it's called 4 AM. It's out currently on YouTube and all stream platforms and all that stuff. So since I released that song, I've just been getting such a great support from the whole Irish hip hop industry and the urban scene, of course. And you know, people give me such a great platform, such as yourself, you know, to showcase my talent and showcase my music. So we appreciate people like yourself.
Do you know what, Graciano Major? Instead of talking about it, why don't we just play it?
You know what? Let's get to it. Let them know what's up.
We will come back right after this and we will figure out what dates are going on tour.
Oh yeah.
Where you're playing and what's happening. But
right
first,
after
guys,
the
this is Graciano Major featuring Hoover. This is 4 AM right here on RTE Pulse. We have got the man himself in studio today.
Hello, hello.
Graciano.
We're back.
How does that feel to hear that being played on the radio?
You know what? It takes me back just like the first time I ever heard my song on a different radio station. I'm not going to mention the name.
Come on now,
I'm not
right?
going to mention the radio station, you know what I mean? But yeah, it feels, of course, it feels very to be proud of your own artwork, and you know, of course, it's just a humbling feeling, like, you know.
And how long were you guys making that for?
Literally, I had a song made ages ago, and I just had the chorus. Only the chorus made for that song, and I never felt like I wanted to release. I just like, oh yeah, that's another song for the laptop. That's it, just for myself. But then my musician fellow came into the studio, Hoover, and I just started playing him loads of songs of my original. And I'm actually, you know, I have this song too. What do you think of this song?
What can you bring to it?
Yeah. Literally 10 minutes he freestyled the whole verse. He freestyled it off the top of his head. He didn't even write it. He just went in the boom, 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 okay, one more time, boom, 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 finished take, and that's it.
Done and dusted, never
literally
looked back.
Dusted.
And then you guys did the video on top of it.
Yes, indeed, by the one and only director Dan O'Glynn. Shout out to him.
And it's a deadly video, and I was looking at it, and only for I know Dublin, I would have looked and been like, where in the name of God is that? Was that in London? Like, you know, was it New York? But you got the convention centre in it, down Georgia Street.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and down
I think
on
so.
the
We
quays.
covered the right side of Dublin, let's say. That's why people kind of recognise if it is Dublin or not, because it's in the night time, and of course we have so many development going on in Dublin City right now with all the lights and all the new buildings that are happening. So, you know, so many people when they look at it like, oh, actually I haven't seen this, so that's why they don't recognise it. Probably that's maybe the case.
Was it important to you to keep it local?
Yeah, of course. The roots. I carry the Ireland flag on my shoulder. You know what I mean? I live in Ireland over 18 years. So, you know, of course, like without Ireland, I don't do it. You know, it has to be the hometown. Always has to be important for me. It's very important to have the home Dublin on my shoulders.
Okay, so you mean you love your home,
of course,
right? And you want to push it. So tell me, what gigs are you doing?
Okay,
and what dates and where can people find you?
Right, Crystal Nightclub downstairs in the basement on the 24th of November, opening also for another amazing UK artist called Gecko. The urban industry, of course, they know who he is. So I'm opening for him in the Crystal on the 24th of November, and then of course December is coming in. So I'm going on a tour. The tour kicks off on the 1st of January, Berlin, Copenhagen, Stockholm, Amsterdam, London, and of course the last one is in Dublin Academy. Tickets are already on Ticketmaster and all that type of stuff. You know, you can find it all on my social medias if you're interested.
So big things coming for you, Graciano.
I like to think so, hon. Yeah. I like to think so, you know what I mean?
Well, keep pushing it anyway. But I just want to ask you one more thing. Any more music in the pipeline that's going to be coming out soon?
Yes, I have a other single, of course. There's so much expectations, like people saying, what's the next song?
I know we're never happy
lads,
with
you
what
haven't
we've
even
got
listened to the first song properly. Like,
but we want the next one, right? We want to know what you're doing in 10 years' time. We want it now.
I have a quite a good idea when I want to release it. It's definitely 2019 January.
January 2019.
Yes.
So not that far away when you think about it. We're into November now. It's actually the 1st of November today.
It is. There is.
So I mean, only 2 months away for that.
So January, I don't know about the date yet, but it was definitely going to be in the middle of January 2019. But it's definitely different style of 4 AM.
Okay.
You
so
definitely
not
like
it. The mellow, nice.
No, there is mellow, of course. There is mellow R&B. There is R&B flavor in there to a certain point, of course.
Okay.
But it's definitely for the club seasons, festival seasons. I feel like I want to say the name of the genre, but I don't want to.
Are we going to get an exclusive right here on RTE?
You might do. You never know. You never know.
Give it to me here.
It's the genre is basically a house. It's a house tune. It's a house tune. Not to a point that like, oh yeah, let's go mad and stuff, but to a point that you're like, wow, this is actually moving and it's so fresh. Definitely a refreshing sound.
Is this going to be maybe our summer 2K19 tune that's coming
I
our
hope
way.
so. I hope so. So we find ourselves a longer tune jamming to it soon.
Graciano, I'm delighted to have had you here today. Graciano
Appreciate
Major,
it.
everybody. We
Thank
will
you very
have
much.
4 a.m. played 100% more
Appreciate
times
it.
here
Thank
on
you.
Pulse.
Thank you.
And I wish you all the best of luck in your upcoming gigs.
Appreciate it, and thank you. Shout out to everybody supporting the 4 a.m. and shout out to Laura.